Today's check from Alpha Charts with a state of the market video. Today is June 24th, 2023. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. If you don't already, check me out on Twitter at AlphaCharts365, right over there. Post things all week for free, so it's worth following. If you really like my stuff, become a super what do they call it, subscriber, whatever. It's $10 a month. You get a ton of content. And I think it's a huge value. So check that out though at AlphaCharts365 on Twitter if interested. In more content for me. All right, let's get into the charts. SPX. So we have this beautiful base. We had the breakout, and now we had the pullback, right? So I think this area is actually the key level right here, key level. And so we've had a fairly organized pullback, mostly on lower volume coming into this area. So right now, 43.20-ish. That's the area that has to hold. Now, on Friday, we had a nice pickup in volume right here, which I think is potentially a mini capitulation. So what I would love to see is Monday, a gap, maybe a gap down into this 43.20 area, and then the buyer step up and push it higher on higher volume, right? That's what I really would love to see. As of right now, though, as rough as this week felt for some of us, it's really not doing anything that is not like within normal price action as of this point. Now, if we lose 43.20, and that means we also probably lost the 23-day EMA right over here, that would make me much more concerned. But right now, I'm not totally concerned. I'm a little bit more cautious, but not concerned with this type of price action. Now, if you look on the week, it was just an inside week, consolidation week on lower volume. I know we were closed today, but on lower volume. Again, Monday there's only a 4-day week, so that explains the lower volume, but still just a consolidation day so far. So again, that's nothing terrible about that. Down 1.39 on the week. The RSP again looks a little bit worse, and it was down 2.73 on the week. So as you can see, it was definitely selling going on this week. There's no doubt about that. It also lost the 23-day and, might be retesting this 50-day area, 143-ish. Again, not the best look. I was kind of expecting it to come up here before it pulled back. It didn't do what I wanted. That's okay. But this 50-day probably coincides pretty close with that level on the SPX. And if it loses a 200, there's no reason to be, involved at all. So, again, pullbacks happen. I just don't see this right now as a terrible thing. We'll see what happens on Monday, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, see what's going on there. But as of right now, it looks organized, looks okay, in my opinion. Looking at the Qs. So the Qs are still right around this 9-day EMA. 23-day is near this potential support area right there, 354, 355. As you can see, this was a logical area for a pullback to happen, and we drew it in there. Pullback happened on lower volume. Now, as long as this area holds, called 355, there's nothing really much to worry about. If 355 breaks and the price is below the 23-day, I think it's likely we come down to the 50-day, right? And that's a different story at this point, right? Still not, depending on your time frame, terrible, but I think the bulls definitely get have to take a pause here, right? We have to get much more cautious if this area breaks. But as of right now, it really hasn't, and it's not really doing anything wrong. And we really do still have bullishly aligned moving averages. So, it's amazing. Market goes up top to bottom, or recent bottom, I should say, not even the bottom, 44%, pulls back, sorry about that, pulls back 1.5%, and we're calling the end of the run. I don't see it like that. Still an inside day from again, so it's just a consolidation day, in my opinion. Again, down 1.5% basically. The equal weighted probably was down more. Again, looks more like the RSP, down about double that, right? So still not great, but it held the $74 mark. And that's the important part. $74 is super important. To me, this is just retesting this area of the breakout. Nothing to be too concerned about at this point, in my opinion. If $74 breaks, I get much more, maybe defensive technology names, $73 to $74. That's the area, right? We got to stay above that on the equal weights to be still in a bullish range. Okay, so this is the small caps IWM. Would have really liked to see, check out this arrow. This kind of move sideways. It didn't. It pulled back all the way to this potential breakout area. Again, this is the area, right? So 178's got a hold, which is right where the 50-day is. As long as 178 holds, I think even small caps, which aren't leading, but would at least be participating and holding the bull thesis. Now, again, much higher volume on Friday. Hopefully, this is like a capitulatory type move. Doesn't have to be, gigantic volume, but it's way more than what we saw on the selling here, right? So to me, this is a potential capitulatory move right into a place of support. So that's what I'm watching for. Do I know that that's going to happen? No idea, but that's what I'm watching for. Again, a small gap down into 178 or so, and then the buyer showing up would be the most bullish scenario I could think of for right now, right, with the market that we have. I'm looking at mid caps. Looks similar enough right into this, area of support, down 1% on Friday, and it was down 2.53 on for the week, and again, just kind of trying to carve out this bottom. Let's see what IWM was just real fast on the week, 2.89 on the week, just came back here. So there you go. So indexes are bending. They haven't officially broken yet. We'll find out next week if they're going to break or not, though, right? Pretty much, and probably early next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. One of those days, we'll know whether it's going to bounce off that support area or if they're going to break it, and then we'll go from there, right? So, definitely a cautious look to the market, but not a, in my opinion, a very, extreme bearish look at this point. Let's look at the indexes, see what XLF did. XLF came up to the 200-day and got rejected. Again, not the greatest look because we want XLF to get above the 200-day, but it did make a higher high, right? So it's got still higher highs and higher lows and held the 50-day. That's something. Want to see a higher low again, right? That's it, an XLF. So again, cautious look to it. But did make a higher high. That's the positive. SMH. So again, this is right where, if you were a subscriber in my group, we were talking about taking profits over here, especially in semiconductor names, because we knew that it was coming into supply. So now it's got this organized pullback, still held a 23-day. Not really, again, not doing a ton wrong. Everything looks fine, in my opinion. Equal weighted, a little bit worse. But would have liked to see this area hold, to be honest. But it's below the 23-day. We'll see if it bounces on Monday, right? If it continues lower, then we still are cautious semiconductors on the week. Let's see what it looks like on the week. Again, we were closed the day down 4.6 on the week. And SMH, which again, NVIDIA and AMD dominate, we're down 3.81. So again, they were down quite a bit, but it was an expected area. So, not the best look, but it is what it is. Let's see what else. Transports. Here's transports. Again, holding up reasonably well. This was an area we talked about that could offer some supply. It did. They pulled back some. That's the way bases are made. We'll see if it makes a higher low, right? It's got to hold, $76, $77. If it does, then it's a higher low and everything's still just working itself out, right? If we break 76, 75, then that's a problem. So right now, again, just in a range, not doing anything wrong, but on the pullback side of the range. Again, we'll get some more clarity this week, I think. And then home builders, just consolidating, right? How strong are they still looking? And the housing crash that everyone talks about for the last year. Home builders, I guess they're making the last bits of money. I don't know, but they're doing just fine, which means people are staying employed, which means that we probably have, if there's a recession coming, I think we got another 6 months or so. We'll see, maybe less, maybe more, who knows? But I think we still got some time to make some money in the market right here, right? As long as people are employed, that's the important things. So some caution signs also on the index ETFs. But again, they've been not, most of them really haven't broken in any way, shape, or form. So that's a positive, I think, right? Let's look at the internals and see if we can find some more clues to what's going on. So we always talked about the low VIX. Stop that. And let's see what the VIX did this week. Still super low, right? So all that volatility, we saw the pullback, the VIX barely moved. Again, that's a positive, right? People aren't getting scared, rising puts. Again, you could look at it as a contrarian and say, oh, we're due for, a bounce, something, like this. And then I would say, but we could stay low for a period of time before we even get that, right? I mean, this was months, right? October to February, right? So it was months it could stay low. And I think we're in that period where it could stay low for a while, and it just frustrates people. Credit spreads, let's see if they are expanding or tightening. Again, within a range, but a little bit on the expansion. But again, within a range, nothing that concerns me, not extreme. Eventually, when I see it break this trend line up here, that's gonna be a problem, right? But we're not even close to that. So credit spreads are fine. What else do we have? Put call ratio, the sentiment index. Yeah, back to more of a neutral-ish stance. So that's fine. Again, nothing really concerning over here. And then of course we have percent of stocks above the 50-day, my preferred breadth, still above 50%. Again, there was a pullback, but still making higher highs and higher lows from this bottom right there. So we'll see if we get a bounce next week, this will recover very quickly. And then if we get into this area, this would be an area where we would want to maybe take some more profits again, right? This is just a reset of things getting, basically going from, and 20% to 68%. That's a huge move very quickly. So there's just a retracement, right? Kind of like here, then maybe we get something like this, and then maybe we get a drop. We'll see. But for now, again, not doing anything terribly wrong, not looking terrible, kind of like in the middle of things. Dollar is under 103. I think is a very healthy place for the market. So that's very nice to see. Let's see what the copper gold index is doing. Copper gold is fine, right? So it came back a little bit, but held this green area, which when you go to a weekly chart, you just kind of see how this green area was kind of important here and here, in general there, here, kind of here. So we outlined it, and right now we are above that green area. I think while we're above it, I think we're okay. I think if we're below it, that's an uh-oh, right? We don't want any uh-ohs. So there's that. So let's kind of wrap this video. Not too long today. In the end, I think that there's some issues obviously going on, and Sorry about that. But I'm not like overly bearish as of yet. I think that we have get this over here. I think that looking at the SPX, fairly organized pullback into expected support areas, right? So if we get a gap down and you panic sell on Monday, it may be at the absolute wrong time. I'm not saying don't, honor your stops, but I'm just saying that I would maybe not sell on the open, because this right here could offer some support and we may see that rebound, right? Looking back, the Qs, this right here may offer some support. So just know where your stops are, know where capitulation is for yourself, right? Where the uncle rule comes into effect. But overall, optimistically cautious still in the market, right? That's the best way I could put it. I hope you all have a good week. Good luck.